Anybody that tells you that you have the wrong body type to pitch is lying to you.
Whether you're tall and skinny, short and thick, or any combination in between, none of those are going to predict your success in the circle. I mean, just take us, for example. We were both highly, highly successful, but look at how differently we're built. Like, you've got almost a half a foot on me. I'm only 5'7", and I'm like, on a good day, I'm 65 kilos. I don't want to say how much that is in pounds because it's embarrassing.
I'm like, how much is that in pounds?
It's 143. I'm so small. I'm so small. But I made it work. And I made it work. I paid a price, but I made it work. Right. And then like, here you are like you're 6 feet. Basically. And I don't actually know what your playing weight was, but it's like drastically different.
Yeah. I think it was like 170 probably.
Oh, I wish.
Point being though, like, I think people think of the stereotypical, you got to be over 6 feet, slim and lengthy, I don't know, to be the successful pitcher. I'm like, you watch any of the World Series games, any of the pro games, you look at all these successful, badass pitchers, they're all different sizes. They all look different and they're all very successful. And they didn't get there by complaining about not being the size that they want to be, right? Like, I'm sure everyone just naturally being female athletes has gone through a period, or maybe you still struggle with it, of, I wish I was built more like this. Yeah, I'm like, as Christina had just mentioned, right? Like, still like wishing that you were a different size, wishing that you weighed more, less, stronger, thinner, whatever. Like, that's just natural. And I feel like every female athlete goes through that. Like,
honestly, I feel like male athletes go through that too.
Yeah. Like, I think there's a lot more pressure on women just in general, which we'll probably get into because Nicole loves to rant. But all of those pitchers have gone through some kind of uncomfortableness or just, not feeling super confident in their bodies. But the moment that you accept, like, this is what I got and this is who I am and I'm going to make it work, that's how you're going to be successful. Like, not wishing that you were a foot taller or, you looked this way. The beautiful thing about softball is you can turn on the television, you can watch a softball player or watch a softball game and find someone that looks like you. Everybody, like, your body type will be represented in softball. It's not the same like you think about gymnastics, swimming, soccer, basketball, like literally all of those sports, they all not look identical, but a lot of them, they have a very similar body type that you do need to be successful. Like, you look at gymnasts, they all look the same in terms of, and I'm jealous of the gymnasts, I will say, because they're yoked, like they're jacked. Yeah. Like, I look at them, I'm like, wow, so like, you're incredible.
Yeah.
But could you imagine a 6-foot person doing all that? No. I would die.
I'm just picturing you in 6th grade trying to do all that.
That's the beautiful thing about softball is like your body type is represented in every position and every level of softball. You turn on the TV, like I said, you turn on pro softball, your body type will be on the screen. How cool is that?
Not only just on the screen, but like being successful.
Like, they're out there doing the thing. Like,
yeah.
I know it's kind of like, it can be difficult to accept your body. And I think a lot of that also comes from social media, like the rise of it. I mean, like, I grew up going through it's like middle school with like the rise of social media and things like that. And that's when a lot of people my age, at that point, I wasn't really that insecure because I always knew, like, I'm an athlete. I know I'm going to look different. I know, I'm okay. I never cared about the number on the scale. Thankfully, I was not, I didn't care because I knew I'm tall naturally. Like, I had, side note, one of my doctors when I was younger told me that I was obese because I'm tall. Like, the BMI, it wasn't even BMI though. It was just like the weight and what age you are, whatever chart that was. I hope they don't use that anymore. She said that I was obese, and like, to my mom. And like, when my mom told me that, I don't know, later, I'm like, I look down, I'm like, look at me. Do I look obese? No, I'm just tall. Like, okay, I'm like taller. Anyways.
Yeah, but yeah. BMI is for athletes. BMI is such like it's not useful at all. Mm-mm. Like,
the scale isn't useful. The BMI isn't useful.
No, like in college, my husband, he was an O lineman at Cal, and we would do like the pinch test, just like check our body fat. Like, we were just interested, and we are like, all right, like, it's just another thing that we could like improve on. Like, okay, how can I gain more muscle? Like, where am I at? And like, his BMI was like really close to 30, and he was like 16% body fat, not obese, but if you go by the BMI scale, like severely obese.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not like that is, it's so useless for athletes.
Our nutritionist was the one that would oversee that. She didn't tell us the numbers unless you like asked and like met with her.
Smart.
Just because it's like, if you look at a number and you don't understand it, like we don't understand that number like she does.
Mhm.
That can be very damaging to someone's mental health.
Mm-hmm.
I just think our obsession with like numbers and like the scale, like it hurts my heart to know that like people, especially athletes who naturally I'm like, you're going to weigh more than the average person your age that isn't playing a sport, who doesn't work out, but they only judge themselves based off of like the number that they see on a scale. And they don't consider like I've never paid attention to it because I've always been taller and I know that affects things, and I've always been an athlete, so I know that affects things. I eat. I like to eat. I don't care what the number says, and I feel deeply for those that do. And actually just is very damaging, especially as an athlete. When you're burning calories, you need to eat. You need to eat to recover. You need to eat to fuel your body to be able to go perform. Like you want to talk about you want to be elite and perform, you got to eat
a lot.
Like,
you have to eat a lot
more than a normal person. So that was like a little mini side rant, but
yeah, but like, and like you were saying, social media is so bad for self-esteem, because you see like you see all these videos and posts and people look a certain way, and athletes look a certain way, and like sprinters are gonna have a very specific build, and like it's a very stereotypical athletic build, and good for them, right? But we can't hold ourselves to that same standard, because that's not what softball needs, and that's not who you are. And and then you talk about like video editing and like all the like filters or whatever. And but it's
not fair to
new,
compare
right?
yourself to something that's fake, or that's them on their best day with their best angle, that's lighting, that's
and
all these things go into this perfect picture.
But it's nothing new. Right.
No,
like in the 60s, Twiggy was this big thing. And I've had a lot of conversations with my mom about this. Like everybody wanted, and like the media pushed, you have to be skinny like Twiggy, and like your thighs can't touch. You have to have the thigh gap and this and that. People struggled with that for decades. And it's just a continuation of that. But now it's even more in our face. And now it's not even actual bodies, because everything is just being edited to look a certain way. And it's honestly just unrealistic.
Yeah. And what drives me mad about today's like ideal body type, like, before they're pushing like skinny, flat butt, thigh gap, skinny, stick, right? Now I feel like it's, thick, big butt, skinny waist. I'm like, I hope you people know, like, you can't, like we were having a conversation before this. If you want to put on muscle, you're going to put on fat too. And you don't get to choose where the fat goes. The people that are like doing ab workouts, targets fat. No, it doesn't. That's a lie. That's
the only way so you get strong at the gym, you get a 6-pack in the kitchen. And in order to get a 6-pack, you are going to lose fat, and you're also going to lose some muscle, because you're just cutting weight. That's all it is.
But it just drives me mad when it's like, this is the ideal body type. To have like that skinny waist and thick lower half, that's like genetics. That's not something that can be achieved in the gym. And if you're an athlete, like things that you're training you're not training for looks. Like you're training to perform at a high level. Your body's going to be doing some pretty cool things. Why are we judging it? What? Like you don't deserve to do that. Like, why are you doing that to yourself?
No, the way we should be judging it is looking at how amazing it is and what you're asking it to do, and being able to do it at such a high level. That's all we should be looking at. That's what we should be judging it on, is what you are actually capable of doing. And like, to go with the social media thing, right? Like comparing yourself to people you see on social media, you can't compare yourself to your teammates or the people you're playing against, because I mean, it's just the same thing, right? It's so much of it is genetically based. You have zero control over it. Yeah. Like you just can't, as hard as it is, especially as like a teen, you can't let yourself go down that rabbit hole of comparing how you look to how other people look.
I think especially for kids that are in that preteen, teenage years, like sometimes my parents didn't, thankfully, but there are parents out there that like shame their daughters for eating too much, or shame them for, you're too skinny, you need to, whatever they're being shamed for, like it's coming from like the parents.
Yes, parents do shame their kids, and is horrible. I think there's also a good amount of parents out there who truly want their kids to have like the best opportunities for everything.
Yes.
But just because there's so much misinformation out there, they're telling them the wrong things, and that has a lasting impression. Like, oh, like ice cream is bad for you. You can't have ice cream because you're not going to play well tomorrow. And so that like teaches them that like, okay, well, ice cream is bad. I can't ever have ice cream again. I don't think it's just the parent shaming, which also shame on those parents for doing that. I think there's just also so much misinformation, and parents really do want to give their kids, and like I would assume it's kind of the same for boys too, maybe on smaller scale. But they want to give them as much as they can to help them be as successful as possible, but they just don't know.
But I also think it's in like the delivery of how you say things, because again, like especially when you're at that age.
Yeah, but let's say like you have a kid who's like, she played really well, she has 3 more games tomorrow, and she really wants dessert after the game, right? But like one of the parents heard something like, oh, we can't have like dessert because like the sugar and the this and the that, because like you won't play well tomorrow. So it's not even, I don't even think it necessarily has to be coming from like a place of like, no, you can't do that because like you're going to get fat. It could be like, no, you can't do this because you won't play well. Right. So now there's still that habit forming of like, how do I say this?
I just think that there's better ways to frame it or better ways to say it, where it's like, okay, eating ice cream, after a night game to prepare for tomorrow, like you need to fuel your body properly. Yeah. You can have ice cream tomorrow. Sure.
Yeah, or even like here, okay, have your dinner first and then have ice cream. But like, don't gorge yourself on ice cream because like you're just gonna feel bad.
Yeah, like you need to. Yeah, it's just. Yeah, I think the delivery is what matters the most, and like fueling your body and how you eat is very important in being an athlete. So if you're a parent that's trying to advise your kids or like structure that, make sure you're telling them why, just so that they're not assuming anything and they're not feeling like you're micromanaging what they eat. Just explain.
Like, I'm not allowed to have ice cream because of whatever reason. Like I'm just not allowed to have it. Like go have your ice cream.
Yeah,
and you better, as a parent, I
need my ice cream. I need a sweet treat.
And you better not withhold dessert because they didn't play well on the field.
Oh,
like that better not ever be a thing.
Yes.
Off the nutrition subject.
Yes.
Social media, like everything you see, you're just inundated with all of these images and ideas of what you're supposed to look like, and you're not going to. Mm-hmm. You're not going unless you're like that 1% of the population who looks like that and can, well, less than 1%, because then you also have to perform at a certain level. Good luck. But like you are asking your body to do unbelievable athletic feats at a high level. Thank yourself. Thank your amazing body, this machine that just does all these things because you ask it to, because you love the game.
One more thing too, kind of going into social media, but like, again, like if people are posting things where, of like their body or things like that, again, they're posting either edited their best day, right? Maybe before they even ate anything, before they got that morning bloat, right? Like all of those things. But again, like being a successful athlete, like doesn't mean you're not going to have like cellulite or stomach rolls or, your arms like jiggle when you move them. Like that's all just like natural and how a body moves. You don't need to tear yourself apart because you don't look like an athlete, or you don't, like we're telling you to be successful. You don't have to look a certain way. Like you don't. I'm telling you. You look at any collegiate team or anybody that you look up to, they all look different. And that's great. And then they capitalize on what they're good at.
It really is probably the most beautiful thing about our sport.
Yes.
I mean, I
celebrate it. Stop tearing yourself down. Celebrate yourself. What the heck?
Absolutely.
And celebrate like, your teammates too. Like lift each other up. What the heck? It's just it's a beautiful thing. Said it. I didn't rant as much as I thought I was going to.
No, you didn't.
Like,
so
is
again,
there anything I can rant about before we close? I'm like,
So anyone who tells you that you have the wrong body type to pitch or to play softball, they're just straight up wrong. They're not worth your time a day if they're telling you that.
Stop comparing yourself. Love yourself. Invest in yourself. Be proud of yourself. Celebrate yourself.
So just always remember, your self-worth is never tied to how you look.
That part. Mic drop. Bye.